What do the Eagles want for Christmas? Holiday season, Hanukkah, what do they want? How can this team be better set up for the run that they want to make? We're going to find out in the first ever Wish Abilist Draft with EJ Smith. Adam Hoge is going to break down the NFC contenders, and Cooper DeJean is going to join the show all next on the PHLY Eagles podcast. Hello, everybody. How you doing? Live from the Xfinity Studio and presented by Bet365 and Ashley, this is the PHLY Eagles Show. Bo Wulf, EJ Smith. We got a fun one today. Happy holidays, EJ. How are you?
That was a very pensive intro to the show. Are you all right?
I'm fantastic.
Yeah.
I am rejuvenated. One day off the show, I feel completely recharged.
It really is crazy how much energy you can get just from that one afternoon.
Fantastic.
I sat back and enjoyed the show. Didn't enjoy when Handsome Rich threw me under the bus in the Xfinity read, but it happens.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna get him back eventually. I mean, he's on the list.
I'm taking Handsome Rich in that fight.
Oh, come on. Come on.
I think he's got some dog in him, and I think you will wilt.
Wow. Listen, I didn't love my chances.
You call your whole shtick is pushover millennial.
Yeah, but I'm just a lot bigger than Rich. I don't want to fight Rich. I just want to throw him under the bus for the next Xfinity read I get.
Okay.
That's all.
All right, we got a lot to get to. We are going to hear from the All-City NFL expert Adam Hoge, who's going to break down the NFC contenders for us. EJ caught up with Cooper DeJean yesterday morning. We'll get a little bit of that conversation, and we will bring you the first ever Wish Abilist Draft. It's actually a P. It's my fault. I sent you a B. It's a P. Apalist is a bird, so we're keeping the bird puns, baby. Shoehorning it in there. We'll explain what that draft is in a little bit, but let's start, EJ, with the news from the NovaCare Complex yesterday. Not a ton going on there. We had Hard Knocks last night. What are your takeaways from the last 24 hours?
Yeah, I think that Jalen Hurts is the demeanor that he had after the game seemed to have carried over into his midweek press conference.
Oh, I would say it got worse.
I would say that this, business as usual. This is who I am. This is what I do. Persona has definitely. Yeah, I would say.
I mean, listen. Jalen is wired exactly how you would want the quarterback to be wired. He cares about the right things. He should believe that he is a special person. But the unprecedented nature of his rise, like what's unprecedented is unprecedented. I mean, he was a very highly ranked recruit. He went to Alabama and Oklahoma. He was a second-round draft pick. It's not the craziest thing in the world.
But he has faced some serious adversity, and I think that
100%. And he deserves that credit for that. But this is not it's not like Brock Purdy or something like that. You know what I mean?
I disagree. I'm going to push back on this.
Okay.
I think the public nature of his benching on one of the biggest stages in football.
Sure.
To not have that derail your career. We've seen if you froze time in that moment and you had to guess what happened with Jalen Hurts.
Well, and it's funny, especially today with the news that Tua is going to be benched by Miami.
Yeah, exactly. So it is really full circle, right?
What a week for Jalen.
If you freeze time at that moment, you would have expected Jalen Hurts' career to go the way of maybe transfer to a smaller school, have one season, and then have to figure it out, outside of football. You would not have expected him to go on to be an NFL quarterback, a Super Bowl MVP, all of the things that he's accomplished.
Absolutely correct.
So I do think
absolutely fair.
I think that moment shapes who he is, and I think now listen, you can push back or you can say that it's a little bit funny that he's now.
I think you probably need to
mythologize
a little bit in order to be that good at something.
But, he's talked about walking through the fire. And I just, having covered Jalen as long as I have, that moment shaped him. It 100% shaped him.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it when they talked to the team the night before the Super Bowl. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I do think it's a little bit. The thing that's tricky about Jalen is that he both wants us to think he's like not rabbit-eared, which I don't think he's rabbit-eared. I don't think he is like consuming.
It says the thing in case you missed it. Somebody mentions that N'Kobe said something like,
Yeah.
Well, I heard this. I heard the complaints about Jalen last week and the annoying calls for him to be benched. I'm sure I would bet that Jalen heard it too. And Jalen Jalen is always looking for a one-liner. And it was funny to watch yesterday because there's another point where he's responding to Dave Zangaro in the middle of a Martin Frank press conference.
Yeah, it's tough. I felt bad for Martin.
And he's like, I'm not, whatever it is, like I'm living.
Yeah,
and
he
then,
said like perceived.
45 seconds later, he's like, doing. It's like he's always looking for it, and it's good. He's a good marketer. But so he then he says to N'Kobe, he's like, well, N'Kobe would be broke. He'd go broke making that bet.
All of this feeds into Jalen might not care about the day-to-day minutiae, as a former podcast co-host of yours would call it. He doesn't maybe care about that stuff as much. He doesn't care about what's being said on the radio on his drive home from work or from the NovaCare complex. He does care about the story that will be written about him when it's all said and done.
Yes.
He cares deeply about the legacy.
Absolutely.
And I think that all of this feeds into that. I think he and he keeps saying like success and greatness aren't linear. Have you noticed that he says linear like someone who like has read it a lot but hasn't said it a whole lot?
Okay.
I have a take on this later. Let's save this one for overtime.
Okay.
I like how you're writing this down. But I do think that he really cares deeply about when he gets to use the Michael Jordan analogy, when he gets his last dance, when he gets his documentary, he wants to point to some of these moments and have them be part of the story. So
yes,
I think he cares deeply about that. I think that informs the way that he's being this week.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it absolutely stretches credulity to think that he was not aware that last week people were complaining about him.
Yeah.
I think he is aware of that. He's just...
Even in Hard Knocks, Scott Leffler talked about like the noise around the building and just the noise and like kind of how it comes with being a quarterback.
And so speaking of Hard Knocks, that to me was
to do that transition. I was going to say, and speaking of Hard Knocks,
go ahead.
If we're talking about Eagles news, the most noteworthy thing that's happened.
Let's very quickly. The other thing is that Jalen was not on the injury report.
Yes,
he's going to play. He's fine.
Yep. Yeah. The most noteworthy thing that happened in the last 24 hours to me was seeing the exchange between Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni after Jalen's third touchdown pass against the Raiders.
I totally agree.
So to set the scene, like obviously we talked earlier this week about Jalen being overly more demonstrative and celebratory about that play than we are used to seeing him be on the field. He had a really big reaction to that play. And he gets to the sideline and he goes to Nick and he says, "I told you I got you." And Nick says, "And you better say that's great effing design too."
Yeah.
And then Jalen says, I think he said great something. Yeah. And then he said, "I ripped it up the seam." And Nick says, "I know you did." And it's like, I'm more curious to hear your read on it, but I think we have the same read on what that exchange was alluding to. And honestly, probably one of the more encouraging exchanges you could have heard between the two of them, in my opinion.
First of all, it is very funny.
Yes.
It is a very funny window into the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it is also very funny to have the coaching staff with Nick. No, first of all, it's a little bit telling for Nick to say the design, as we understand that he's becoming more involved in the offense.
Yes.
Right.
And you could see it all throughout the Hard Knocks episode. You could see that Nick's fingerprints are on the offense more. Mm-hmm. He's just around the offensive guys, talking about the scheme, talking about the game plan.
It is very funny to be like, the scheme is what matters. Like, we are the scheme lords.
Yeah,
like,
you better say great design.
As if anybody around the NFL thinks that this is the like best designed offense in football. But my read on it is Jalen was calling for that play. Jalen was like needling them and advocating for them to call that play sooner.
Yeah. I think the "I told you I got you" was very telling there. Yeah. And if you tell me that this is how they move forward offensively, with Jalen pushing for concepts that he has confidence in, that he wants to throw, like, again, because I always think whenever I see those those timing and anticipation throws from Jalen in the middle of the field, you always think, like, how do they get more of those? And maybe the answer is Jalen has to be the one to go, "This is here. I'm confident. I'm going to rip it. I know it's going to be there. And, if you can get more examples of that in the Eagles offense, I feel better about that group going in the playoffs.
Well, I also think like fixing the Jalen Hurts led Eagles offense is an off-season solve.
Yes.
Right? Fixing it to the degree that you can get the best that it can be, it can be. In terms of getting this offense to play its best this season through the end of the year, I kind of believe that just giving Jalen the keys is the answer. And you win or you lose with that. And that doesn't mean he's designing the weekly game plan, but it means he's the one who's out there. He's had however many games in this specific offense. Let him be the one. Trust him. Let him be the one to read how the game is playing out and what he sees and advocate for what he thinks the better play calls are in game. I think that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I think especially because we're talking about their path to being average. I agree with you that like if you're paying a quarterback as much as you're paying Jalen Hurts, you'd like to think like every year you're going to have a top 10 offense. And that is going to be a deeper discussion on what an offense looks like to get there with Jalen. But for this season, they need to be a high variance, can score every 3 or 4 drives off of an explosive play type of offense, in my opinion. That's like the floor for like what you'd expect from an Eagles offense that can win playoff games. The defense is good enough for them to be able to do that. So if it is Jalen saying, this is the play that I feel like we can get, an explosive on, and he's pushing for it, if I'm the coaching staff, that's what I want to lean into, because like I think so much of the last month or two, we've been talking about how do you get Jalen to be more decisive, more confident. I think that's really the answer. Is like if he's pushing for it, he will be decisive and confident, and you see what it means to him when he gets it right.
And it's a funny thing because first of all, that doesn't mean don't coach him hard and don't push him to be under center more if he doesn't want to be. Like if there are things that are working for the offense, you gotta push him to do that. But it is, I mean, I'm trying to think of I guess. I think Fran brought up the comparison between Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur the first time they were together, right? But you would think that a quarterback who has been starting for this long, who is coming off a Super Bowl MVP, would not have to be so forceful in advocating for what he wants to run. You would think that it would be just kind of part of the deal. Like if he says, I'm feeling this now, okay, let's dial it up. Like, right?
I mean, to a certain extent, I feel like when we talk about some of like the rudimentary pass concepts, that feeds into like maybe the coaching staff needs to push him in different directions. And I think the under center conversation is an interesting one. And the last thing I'll say about it is like the under center stuff, if they win a Super Bowl like with a big sea change where they lean into under center, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but like let's say it does, that is like perfect myth making for Jalen Hurts. Like he added the under center to his game midway through the year, whatever it takes to win. He did this thing. He added the mid range jumper. I think that I could see that being the next phase of Jalen's career is like this under center evolution. And it because it also feeds into like Jalen. I think Jalen likes the idea that he's maturing as a quarterback into a more sophisticated NFL system, and the under center stuff leans into that. It affirms that he's kind of progressing in his NFL career and like his experience level.
I was not. We got to get to this draft, but I have a question for you, and how you think Jalen's evolution has come on that, because early in his career, and there's a discussion in the chat about is Jalen in the conversation for the best black quarterback of all time? No, I mean Patrick Mahomes is the answer.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, but he's in the conversation for the best dual threat quarterback of all time.
Well, and what is interesting to me about that, as you say, that he wants sort of the myth making of adding more of the pre-snap stuff in, and the triple threat stuff, and maybe evolving away from the running. But early in his career, he talked about this a lot as embracing what it meant to be a dual threat quarterback, the more of the stereotypical black quarterback who like moving is a really part of the game. And I wonder what his view on that is, and that evolution as he chases something else and moves away from that thing that he embraced before.
Yeah, it is really interesting because I thought early in his career when he would talk about this, that there's the stigma around being a dual threat quarterback. Right. I like that he was like taking it back He was like reframing it where it's like, why would that be a bad thing?
Right.
Now listen, he's at a point in his career maybe where protecting his health is more front of mind. So I think that's a big part of the equation. But I do think that, like, to your point, like he has been pretty outspoken about taking back that stigma. And I wonder how he feels about it as well. Might be a good story.
Okay, something to noodle on.
Yeah.
Noodle on. Anyway.
Noodling is a big word in the guitar world. Like when you're just like playing and you're not really like actually doing anything, you're just playing to listen to it. Yeah. It's bad though, because you got to practice. You have to like actually work on things.
Okay. Time to take a quick break. We'll come back and explain this very exciting draft on the other side here on the PHLY Eagles podcast. So the other day I'm over up in the North Pole at Santa Claus's house, and he invited me over to watch the game. Ho, 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 Bull, come on over. Let's watch the game. And I get there. I mean, first of all, a delight to be asked. Always great to see my good friend. But then I couldn't believe it. Kris Kringle himself. I was fan-fished, lagging, buffering. He's switching between apps trying to find the game. I know service is bad up in the North Pole, but my guy, get Xfinity, because that's the perfect fan flex. You get all the action right in your living room, plus Xfinity's best picture and sound with enhanced 4K. So clear it feels like you're in the stadium. You can even get 4 games going at once, because why not? Plus the real-time notifications. That's why next game day you have got to make sure that big fan isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multiview requires Xfinity 4K capable TV box.
If you're a last-minute shopper like me, you know the feeling. Shelves are empty, and the crowds are picking up, and the ideas are running low. That's where Aura Frames comes in clutch with a gift that feels personal. With digital picture frames, you upload photos and videos to effortlessly, straight from your phone. Just download the Aura app and connect to Wi-Fi, and remember, you can't wrap togetherness, but you can frame it. Whether it's that hard-to-shop-for dad or the special someone in your life with picky taste, Aura Frames can give you the peace of mind to avoid those Christmas Eve shopping runs. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura Frames' best-selling Carver Mat frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, using promo code PHLY at checkout. That's AURAFrames.com, promo code PHLY. And remember, this deal is exclusive to our listeners, and frames sell out fast, so order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
Back on the PHLY Eagles podcast. What are you shaking your head at?
I actually don't know.
Oh, okay.
I promise. You're so paranoid because you saw Julia, our Julia, walking around the perimeter of the studio, and now you think that I got something up my sleeve. I do not.
You were doing the little, like, you know.
I just said,
are you going to bring in the hard work that you did for me that I'm going to try to take credit for?
That was only one time that happened. The right direction reindeer, positivity prancer. That was all me. It was all me.
You still made her bring it to you. like she's your errand girl.
No, stop. She was excited about it. We're not relitigating.
By the way, you want to talk about you throwing your Julia under the bus. This is a good time, because let's say the conceit of this draft, you had a good idea.
I did.
I like the idea, but tell us how it happened.
All right. So as I've talked about on the podcast before, my wife and I talk on the phone a lot. Like, I have an hour-long commute home. I will call her when I get literally when I get on the road, I call her. And we'll talk. Sometimes I'm like, this is a little silly. Like, we talk for an hour and then I get home. But I did that yesterday.
Foreplay.
Not touching that one. So I'm on the phone with my wife, and I mentioned that you would ask me what I wanted to do on the show, and I had like the college football 25, like the stadium pulse, like
right.
I'm like, I have no idea what I want to talk about for the show. So I was talking to her, and I was like, what would be fun is if we did like a draft where we basically said, like, my idea was limited to like one topic. Like, you could pick one player to have a great, end of season. And
I punched it up, but yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. Like, you know what? Let me call you back. I'm going to send Bo a voice memo. So I sent you the voice memo, which I'm a big voice memo guy, especially if I'm driving.
Yeah, you should, yeah.
You can read my voice memo, but I don't have to type it out.
Yeah.
Works out perfect. I sent you the voice memo. And I hit send and I call my wife back. And within 10 seconds of her picking up the phone, you call me because you don't want to send me a voice memo. You just want to talk on the phone, which is understandable. So then I got to say, all right, Julia, actually, I have to go again. What did you want me to do?
You hung up on your wife twice on my behalf.
Well, she wanted to convey like
that makes me look bad.
Well, yeah, because you're the work wife. That's what she said.
It's like I gotta. It's like she thinks I want to take precedent. No. Talk to your wife.
No, she said she was giving me some crap about it, but it was mostly because you are the work wife. So my priorities were pretty obvious there. What did you want me to do? You want me to ignore your call and be like, I'll call you back. I'm gonna talk to Julia about like what would we even have been talking about?
You tell me.
She made Reese's cups or just like peanut butter cups at her parents' house.
Oh man, I bet. I hope she didn't put any raisins in there.
It's a good callback by you. All right. Shout out to Julia.
Let's get to it. The Wish Apalist Draft. Here's the deal. We've got 6 categories. And nice job.
Really good,
graphic. That's great. Thank you, Lindsay. 6 categories that we're going to go back and forth on. 1 is the injury guarantee. And what this means is you can guarantee that a player on the Eagles is going to stay healthy through the end of the season. This does not mean getting a player who is unhealthy now healthy. It just means guaranteeing they will not get injured again. That's one category. Second category.
We do them and then we can explain them as we go.
No, let's explain the category.
All right, fine.
Second category, the 2024 version. So anybody who you feel like is underachieving a little bit this year, you get their 2024 version. Playoff jump.
The Milton Williams bump is what I call it.
Milton Williams bump. Somebody who is doing fine, but they're going to really raise their game in the postseason. Next up, this is a fun one. Add a skill. Add a skill to any player or coach on the team. Let's say you want Tyler Steen to turn into a Mekhi Becton level run blocker, something like that. You can do that. It's a skill acquirement. Replace a backup. This one is you're calling back somebody from 2024 and adding them to the roster as a better backup than what the Eagles have. And then finally, opponent pumpkin. And what we have here is a player on a different, or coach, I guess, it doesn't have to be a player, okay, on a different team pulling a Sam Darnold in the playoffs. And you would hope that it happens against the Eagles.
I'm very excited for the draft. I do have to admit something. On Anthony's show this morning, I described this as like a Bo creation, and I had a hand in this. But I see Fran in the chat saying this is the most Bo draft of all time. Now you kind of took like I gave you like the little bird.
It was your idea,
and the bird,
and we iterated
the bird wings because you're so creative. But I do feel like you're gonna get like thrown under the bus. Not thrown under the bus, but this is gonna seem like a Bo idea. I think this was a tandem.
That's a great one. I like this idea.
Yeah.
This is people working together.
Having fun on the show.
See? You see, people? I don't throw away all of everybody else's ideas.
Just most of them.
If they're good enough, we can do them. Lindsay's been having all kinds of ideas.
Now, I want the first pick for one of these. I don't care about the order for any of the other ones.
Here's the deal. We are not going category by category. You can draft who you want for any category. Okay. Let's do rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Are we going to go 1, 2, 2, 2,
no,
2?
Just let me have,
or just back and forth?
Let's go back and forth, but let me have the first one.
No, because there's one that I think is the most important pick that I
don't know if I care about. All right, so I'm going like board strategy here.
Yeah, me too.
My first one isn't actually the most important.
I agree.
Okay, fine. All right.
2 out of 3?
Yeah, it's always 2 out of 3. What are we doing here?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All right, go. Cook me.
Sweep. My wife always says that I always win rock, paper, scissors. And I'm like, that's mathematically impossible. It's impossible. It literally is not true. Can't happen.
Well, it isn't impossible, but it's unlikely.
All right.
I
am going to do the add a skill category.
Oh, okay. This is not my start. Okay.
Because I could only come up with one that I felt really, really good about. I'm going to give Kevin Patullo the power to freeze time. And I'm going to explain why.
Okay.
We've seen examples this season of the Eagles opening script being really good. Like, the Cowboys game is the most recent example in my head where it's like they had a plan coming into the game and it's working, and they're rolling, and it just all of a sudden feels like the wheels come off. And I think if you gave Kevin Patullo just like hit the button, freeze time,
like the DuckTales, you freeze time, because
I was thinking
if
like
we're just
the
adding
Adam
I didn't know we were adding superpowers.
You said add a skill.
Add a skill,
Okay.
like a skill that someone else
you
in
could
the
say
league
okay. The
possesses.
skill would be like the Shane Steichen feel for a game.
Okay,
Can we go with that instead?
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think
want
that's a good
Kevin
one.
Patullo to add the ability to adjust and react in game to what he's seeing from the defense. Because again, I think the plan going into the week can be good at times. If you told me that he's like got enough feel for we're gonna keep pressing this button, or we're gonna adjust to this, maybe I should have done like Kevin Patullo can see in the future, like so the unscouted looks don't throw them for such a loop.
Yeah, that's good.
But if you told me that the sequencing from the Eagles offense was just a little bit better, I'd feel significantly better about that.
It's not even the sequencing; it's the reacting. It's
the feel for the counter.
The idea to like take a timeout and analyze. Yeah, I mean, stopping time is what you're talking about.
Yeah, if you could stop time and just go.
But then I mean, it's like, okay, well, what if I make Saquon Barkley the Superman?
Well,
like,
well, I mean, he's already pretty.
It's got to be within the realm of possibility.
All right, so Kevin Patullo
gets the Steichen feel for a game. Is good.
He gets the Shane Steichen feel for a game.
Even the Vic Fangio feel for a game.
I mean, even Kellen Moore with the run game stuff last year.
Okay,
if you add that, like Kevin Patullo's giving you that. Like, oh man, he really stuck with that, and it just led to that explosive play in the third quarter. That would be a huge boost for the Eagles offense.
Okay, that's a good one. Okay, this is not the top priority for me, but I do feel like this is the biggest delta between the top person on my board and the number 2 person on my board of all these categories, and that is I am adding Isaiah Rodgers as my top backup, replacing Keely Ringo or whoever it is that you want. And now I feel way better about the state of my secondary at what is the biggest weak spot. Although Adoree Jackson has looked very good, or at least much better the past couple weeks, boy, would Howie feel a lot better if Isaiah Rodgers was here.
Yeah, he was top on my board in that category, but I feel okay about who I've got in the second spot.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Milton Williams bump here.
Okay.
I'm going to take my number 1 player on the board.
Okay.
It's Jalen Hurts. If you told me that Jalen Hurts was just going to play lights out for the entire postseason.
Yeah.
I think that I
feel like that's a little bit cheating, but okay.
It's chalk. But Jalen's going to be somewhere in yours, is he not?
Not definitely.
Okay. I feel like this is especially because you can kind of tell a story or a narrative here too. Because I feel like in the spirit of the Milton Williams bump, there has to be some money involved here. So Jalen just is just lights out postseason, Super Bowl MVP, 2 years in a row. That's a mega extension coming in the offseason.
Oh, no doubt.
So there is a little bit of a monetary, a fiscal incentive here. And yeah, I mean, if he elevates the Eagles offense in the playoffs in the high stakes games, we've seen him do it before. If you told me that if that was on the table,
I mean, there's no doubt that this would be the most impactful thing to happen for the Eagles.
So I think it's a good pick.
Of course,
and
it's
then
a good pick.
Then you start to look at it, and Jalen Hurts is currently he's at $51 million a year average annual value. Dak Prescott's at $60 million. I mean, we're talking record-breaking contract in the offseason. So I think that it's, again, in the spirit of the Milton Williams bump. I thought you were professional, by the way.
Clicked on the wrong tab.
Well, that's a good tease. Like, people got to check out BG Unblocked.
Got to check out BG Unblocked.
A little bit of a tease here.
Unk still got it.
Unk still got it's one of my favorite.
It's so good. It's very, am I allowed to say Unk?
I think it's fine.
I'm quoting?
I think it's fine. I don't think there are certain things that would have hit my ear wrong, but Unk isn't one that hits my ear wrong. Okay. If you were like,
I'm not going to be using it.
Yeah, you shouldn't go up to like my dad and be like, "What's up, Unk?" But like,
could you imagine if I did that? Yeah, I should get popped in the face.
Yeah, I don't think my dad would. Maybe I'm honestly maybe. He doesn't have that side anymore. I don't think. He's old.
He was a big fan of yesterday's show, I heard.
Yes, he really enjoyed. You have to say this. I can't say this. He really enjoyed one of the things you said to Fran 2 days ago.
Yeah, that's right. You can say it.
No, you asked him if he was a big, cracker.
Yeah.
Like finger cracker for the listeners. That's what my demonstration was.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm taking Jalen Hurts for the Milton Williams.
All right.
bump.
I mean, that's a good pick if we're going to allow you to have it. That's fine. Okay. Next up for me, then, in that case, I'm going to go. There's a couple ways to go here. I'm going to go with the injury guarantee.
Okay.
And
I'm curious if you have the same one as me.
well, this is a tough call, but I am going to go with Lane Johnson. And the reason I'm going with Lane Johnson is I feel like the conceit of the injury guarantee is, do I think that Lane Johnson is the most valuable player on the team? No. But Jalen Hurts knows how to protect himself. I'm gonna trust the odds that a guy like Cooper DeJean or Quinyon Mitchell is going to be able to stay healthy. If the idea is we're pushing their injury number in Madden to 100, those guys are already, their durability number is already at like 90 or something. Like that.
Okay.
Like they're young guys.
I see where you're coming from here.
We'll knock on wood here, and so there are no jinxes. But Lane, I think he's coming back from the Liz Frank injury. Is he just going to hurt himself again? He's missed halves of games already this season. So if I can lock in that whenever Lane comes back to the field, he stays at the level that he is when he comes back, I think that's the thing that the deal that I would make if I was Howie Roseman.
Yeah, there's the thing is that I feel like Lane, there's the chance that he comes back and he's not close to 100%.
But even that.
But then the question becomes like, and listen, Lane is a proven, future Hall of Fame player. I'm not trying to make it sound like he's not going to be an impact player, but if he's 80% of himself, the diminishing returns between him and Fred Johnson,
I think it's still enough.
Okay, no, I think you framed that well. I'm not gonna give you my injury guarantee because we have a draft board here, but I didn't have Lane in my top 2 for the injury guarantee.
Okay, all right. Let's take another break. On the other side, we're gonna talk to Adam Hoge, check in on the NFC contenders, all of that stuff. But stay tuned because this electric draft is only just getting started, and we'll pick it up after talking to our friend Mr. Hoge.
Shop bestsellers at Ashley, where no matter what your holiday traditions are, you're always at home. Whether you're making extra room with their extendable dining table so your family can make something delicious together, like the Christialand extendable dining set, or creating a cozy space by rearranging their modular seating, like the Alyssa Court Performance Fabric Sectional, Ashley's sectionals of adaptable furniture are here to help carry on your treasured traditions year after year for years to come. Shop holiday deals and make lifelong memories with Ashley.
Bet365 has not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, not 10, not 20, not 30, not 40, not 50, not 60, not 70, not 80. No, 90 million users worldwide, and they live stream over 780,000 events each year with early payout offers across the NBA and NHL. They've also got the early payout offers for the NFL, where if your team is up by 17 points, you get the instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections marked as winners. Download the app and use code PHLY365 when you sign up. So here's the breaking news that you need to know from Bet365. New customers now get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Sign up. Use the code PHLY365. Deposit $10 and place a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. If your bet wins or loses, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 or older and physically located in Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Shop bestsellers at Ashley, where no matter what your holiday traditions are, you're always at home. Whether you're making extra room with their extendable dining table so your family can make something delicious together, like the Christialand extendable dining set, or creating a cozy space by rearranging their modular seating, like the Alyssa Court Performance Fabric Sectional, Ashley's sectionals of adaptable furniture are here to help carry on your treasured traditions year after year for years to come. Shop holiday deals and make lifelong memories with Ashley.
All right, we are back on the PHLY Eagles podcast, joined by our friend Adam Hoge of ALLCITY and CHGO. How you doing, Doctor? Happy holidays.
Yes, happy holidays to you. It's good, and everything's good in Philly, right? You got a nice, easy win. Everything's cured.
They're going to win the Super Bowl again. Everybody's convinced after the win over the Raiders. Okay, so that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the NFC playoff picture and just sort of check in on the other contenders here. So let me start by asking you this question. we'd like to say water gun to your foot. Who would you take to make the Super Bowl? The Rams or the field?
Ooh. I'm going to go field just because.
Playing the odds.
Yeah, because I do think that this is a wide open season. So it would be weird to just be like, no, it's definitely going to be the Rams. I do think the Rams are the favorite. They've been number one in my All-City Power Rankings now for a few weeks. They'll continue to be there this week.
Are you going to leave them there, or are you going to cave to the pressure from the people in DNVR who have been all over you in the company Slack about you, in my estimation, correctly still ranking the Broncos around like 5 or 6, which is totally fair.
Yeah, I do love it. Like the entire the I think the thing they're insulted by is that I didn't have them in the Super Bowl contender tier. Because if you haven't seen my power rankings out there, please first of all go check them out. They're on allphly.com every single week. But in addition to just ranking the teams, I do tiers. I think it's more fun that way. And I have left the Broncos outside of the Super Bowl contender tier until last week. They'll be in there this week. Everybody can settle down. That was a great win over the Packers. But I'm like, I still have you 6. Like, what is everybody upset about? So I appreciate some support within our company and having my back, Bo. That's why you're my guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let's be honest. Listen, Super Bowl contender is fair now. They're probably going to get the 1 seed. They get to play at home, win 2 games. They deserve to be a contender. But yeah, let's not pretend like they're lighting the world on fire and everybody's ready to just trust Bo Nix in the playoffs. But back to the question at hand. So Rams, you feel good about the Rams as the number 1 team in the NFL, but crazy things can happen. It's the playoffs.
Right, we're crazy. And also they're not guaranteed the 1 seed at this point, right? Like they could lose tomorrow night to Seattle, and I think there's certain teams that home field advantage matters more, and it's like, well, if Seattle can have home games, I'm sorry, but it's way harder to play in Seattle than it is at SoFi Stadium, where half the crowd is representing the other team.
Sure.
I think all these teams that are looking at this right now are thinking about, if you're the Packers or you're the Bears or you're the Eagles, you're like, going to SoFi is not so bad. You get to fly to California, and that stadium's going to be half full of Eagles fans or Packer fans or Bears fans or Seahawks fans. Like, you can't do that in Seattle, and it's so loud. I think that's where, for the Rams' sake, like, yes, they're number 1. Yes, I think they're the most complete team. I think you look at the EPA numbers and some of these advanced metrics that shows you, that right now they are the most complete team. And I think the tape shows that as well. But I also think that we got to let this thing sort out over the last few weeks before we can definitively say that they have the inside track to go all the way to the Super Bowl.
I'm with you. I think that is very reasonable. Okay, let's talk about the rest of the picture, because it does, as dangerous as the Lions might be, or even if you wanted to talk yourself into the Cowboys, it seems like the NFC, the 7 teams are pretty well set as long as you just put aside Bucks, Panthers, whoever wins that division. The other 6 teams are going to be there. After the Rams, would you say that Seattle is, in your mind, the second scariest team come the playoffs, or are you harboring, I still don't know if I can trust Sam Darnold when it matters?
Well, I do have that in the back of my head, because I have in the back of my head what happened last season. In Week 18.
How could you not?
I mean, I can't remember if I told the story on the show or not, but we were at Lambeau in Week 18 last year, so I'm driving home back to Chicago, and I'm listening to that game on the radio, listening to Paul Allen and Pete Persich, who do such a great job on the Vikings radio network.
I love that. It is so romantic to me to get the opportunity to listen to a game on the radio these days. It's great.
Oh, it's number 1 reason why I have Sirius XM in my car, is to listen to NFL football games, on Sunday when I'm commuting to wherever I'm commuting for whatever game, or in our studios. And you get to sample all these different teams. And the Vikings broadcast is more unique than anyone, because their play-by-play guy, Paul Allen, is, first of all, just a great human being, but he also hosts a midday show in Minnesota every single day of the week. So he's like a talk show host doing play-by-play at the same time. And they're just losing their minds over how bad Sam Darnold looks. And, some of these other broadcasts might couch it a little bit, and they're like, this is horrible. Like, you can't play like this. And then I watched when I got home. I think I was able to watch the second half at home. So yeah, that's in the back of my head. I don't know how it couldn't be, but I also want to give Sam Darnold credit, because that was also in the back of my head as this season started, that I'm just like, this can't carry over, right? And it has. So I want to give him the benefit of the doubt too, that the Seahawks are real players, and I think they are. The Packers losing Micah Parsons is just a major blow. I'm not saying I would have done this, but there's a world in which the Packers could have lost that game to the Broncos, and I might have actually still viewed the Packers as a better contender than the Seahawks. But
I think that's fair.
Micah, yeah, but losing Micah and now Christian Watson's hurt, like that's a pretty big leap. And then I think when it comes to teams like the Bears and the Eagles, I still give them. They're obviously in different categories. One won the Super Bowl last year, one lost 10 straight games. But, for me, the Eagles, they can put some pieces back together here in December and kind of reload for the playoffs. I know Zach Berman had a story this morning that kind of showed the history of that. So, I know, yeah, me neither. We're kind of showing the history of the Eagles doing that in some of their past runs. And I think the Bears are still in prove-it mode, where if they get a win over the Packers this week, similar to the win they had over the Eagles a few weeks ago, you start to look at them differently.
I agree with that. Now, how about the Niners? Where do they fit in for you? Because, I mean, that defense is bad right now.
Yes,
but I don't know. I'm a little bit worried. Like, if I were to guess how the Eagles season ends right now, I kind of think it might just end in Philadelphia with the Niners coming in and beating them. I don't know.
The Niners are a weird team to me, because I'm just going to go full disclosure here. And I think it's just more circumstantial and a weird thing. But of all these teams in contention, I've probably watched them the least.
Yeah.
Now, the Bears play the Niners in San Francisco next week, so I'll get a closer look. I think it's just kind of a weird year with maybe when they've been on TV and maybe not as much. Their defense got hurt. I think there was a point where, myself included, sort of put them to the side for a little bit when Fred Warner went out. They just looked so bad defensively. I think one of my tiers in my power rankings is fatal flaw. These teams that just have a fatal flaw. And I thought their defense was just so depleted to the point that you couldn't even take them seriously as a Super Bowl contender. But here they are, and they've won so many games, and they
are good enough to have taken advantage of the very easy schedule that they had.
Right, which is what they have done, despite the fact that the NFC West, at least like on paper, looks really loaded. So I guess my answer to that question is you can't dismiss them. I do worry about that defense, though, and they just don't scare me as much as some of these other teams. But I don't know. When we talk in 2 weeks, ask me that question again, because I think we'll have a little bit better idea what exactly they are going into January.
All right, last one for you. What are the Chicago Bears hoping for the holidays? What's on their wish list?
I mean, right now it's just beat Green Bay, right? I mean, it is. It's the game matters so much in this town. When the teams aren't even good, or when the Bears, usually it's the Bears who aren't good. But then it's a weird thing that happened 2 weeks ago, because they lost that game. They lose it on a Caleb interception. They're right there, and I think in most towns like Chicago and Philadelphia, you lose a game to a rival on an interception from your quarterback, and everybody's going to lose their minds for a week. And a weird thing happened, and it was like, and myself included, I kind of felt better about the Bears coming out of that game than going into it. I still felt like they proved themselves. The Packers did too. The Micah injury is disappointing, because I came out of that game, that Bears-Packers game 2 weeks ago, going, all right, the Packers are legit. They might win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And the Bears were right there back-to-back weeks, beating Philly the way they did, and then competing at Lambeau the way they did. I think everybody's very optimistic, even before the Micah injury, that this game might flip in Chicago in the rematch 2 weeks later. Now the fact that Micah Parsons out, the discussion's been, why is Green Bay even favored? I think it's understandable. They're still 1.5 point favorites, but I also understand the discussion. So it's beat Green Bay. That's all they want for Christmas. You get it done. But they have the hardest schedule remaining in football. I don't know how many people realize that. It's Packers, and they go to San Francisco to play the 49ers, and then at home against the Lions to close things out.
And so what if they go, is the only chance for the Lions if Bears go 0-3, Lions go 3-0?
No, there's if the Bears split the next 2 games, it'll still come down to week 18 because of tiebreakers.
Oh, okay.
Because the
That's
Lions,
tough.
yeah.
So Lions are still very much alive.
They are alive. I think I have that right but the Lions have to win their games. Yes, because the Bears are reliant on winning. The Bears could clinch this week by winning and the Lions losing.
Right.
If the Lions lose either of their next 2 games and the Bears beat the Packers on Saturday, that gets them in. But yes, there's a lot of different scenarios where the easiest way to put this is if the Bears win the next 2 games, they clinch the North. Over Green Bay and the Lions. And just to me, you want to take care of that business because you don't want it to come down to week 18 against the Lions because that's they already put up 52 on you this year. I know things are a lot different now than they were back in week 2, but you don't want it to come down to that.
Totally agree. It's actually it sets up very well for Eagles and Bears fans this week, like the wives. We're gonna do all of our home stuff on Sunday because you got Rams Seahawks Thursday night. Eagles play at 5, and then the Packers Bears is Saturday night after that. When you're done with that, none of the Sunday games matter. You get a nice window here to watch these games, and then all these Sunday games, the rest of the Sunday games, who cares? Do your holiday shopping.
But if the Bears win Saturday night, everybody's gonna be locked in on Lions Steelers because it could clinch a playoff berth. I hear you. I do think it's great advice though, as a husband and father. It's a dangerous weekend out there, guys. We got holiday stuff. There's college football playoff games. There's just football every day. Like, just don't get divorced. I mean, just make some wise decisions, smart decisions. You got to be calculated.
Make the most of your mornings. Have productive mornings.
Productive morning, exactly. Which means probably don't have that extra old fashioned the night before. Get to bed early. You got to be smart about this football weekend because it's a crucial one for the teams involved and it's a crucial one for the fans involved, I think.
Keep the main thing the main thing. That's right. All right, Adam Hoge, thank you so much. We'll talk to you in a couple weeks. Happy holidays.
Thanks, Bo. You too.
Back with more on the other side here on the PHLY Eagles podcast. Lindsay, tell me if I'm right about this. December? Oh, what a slog. How you got so much to do. You got the holidays to plan. It's freezing outside. You got to get the kids. How are you going to make dinner every night? Oh my God, what a headache. Well, good news. That's where Factor comes in. Lindsay's nodding along. She agrees. This is what it's all about. This is like a cheat code, as they say, because with Factor, you get to check off all 3 boxes. You get something that tastes good. You get something that is convenient, doesn't take too long, and you get something that doesn't cost a lot of money. Factor is the best. More variety, more meals. Choose from a wider selection of weekly meal options, including premium seafood choices like salmon and shrimp. 97% of customers say that Factor helped them live a healthier life. Feel the difference no matter your routine. Eat smart at factormeals.com/PHLY50off and use code PHLY50off to get 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's code PHLY50off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase.
Next, let's talk about Monarch Money. Feel organized and confident in your finances with Monarch Money, an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean interface on your laptop or phone. I switched jobs recently, and I wanted to make sure my past retirement accounts weren't going to just sit idly by. Monarch has been perfect to keep an eye on all my finances in one place. Monarch is built for people with busy lives. If you've put off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. Don't leave money on the table. When you're making good money, it's easy to get complacent. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code PHLY at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off, 50, off your first year at monarchmoney.com with the code PHLY.
Welcome back to the PHLY Eagles podcast. Thanks to Adam Hoge for joining us on the show. Are you ready to get back to it, Mr. Smith?
I am excited. I feel like this draft is going well for me. I feel like I got the upper hand.
Well, yeah, you're drafting ridiculous things.
What do you mean ridiculous? I drafted the quarterback.
Okay.
And Kevin Patullo. What does it say here? Is it freeze time?
Ability to adjust and react is what you have there.
I like Lindsay's being right to the point about that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm turning Jalen Carter into Godzilla.
Well, maybe that's on my list.
Okay. You're up next. Go ahead.
You know what? Let's stick with that topic.
Oh.
I'm taking the 2024 version of Jalen Carter.
That's a good pick. That would have been my next pick.
Yeah. All right. See, I told you this draft is coming up all EJ.
It's the first good pick you've made within the rules of the game.
Jalen Hurts going on a playoff heater isn't high on your list?
Because that's cheating.
What do you mean it's cheating?
Of course,
it's too good.
Trying to be a little bit more,
it's too good.
Interesting than that.
I've got all these picks.
All right, go ahead.
Jalen Carter, 2024 version. It's not even like necessarily
absolutely
the most like productive version of Jalen Carter or the most productive version that we could expect to see from Jalen Carter. But if you throw in like game wrecking Jalen Carter, have to block him with two guys and he's still going to cave your quarterback's face mask in, the limit does not exist for this Eagles defense. So I think 2024 version, I was tempted with another player, but I think if you drop Jalen Carter into this defense,
I think you're right.
It's scary.
I think that is there's really not much to add. That would be a huge difference maker.
I think there's still a good one left on the table for the 2024 version though.
Yeah, I know who I'm going to take. I'm just not going to do it now because we still have a couple ones we haven't both done. Although I guess we don't have that many. We only have the opponent pumpkin that we haven't both done.
Yeah, so who are you going to go
with? So, but are there ones where I could take someone else that you might want to use a different category on? Because we're not allowed to do overlap in that.
Well, the pumpkin's somebody else, so.
No, I know, but I'm saying if there's somebody who I wanted for the 2024 version that you might be thinking about for the injury guarantee, it would
not to help you too much here, but I feel like you didn't do add a skill yet, right?
No.
Add a skill could be the one where I get in trouble.
Okay. I'm going to go all right, I'm gonna just go with the. You know what? I'll do the opponent pumpkin just to do the one that we haven't done yet. Here's my opponent pumpkin. I feel pretty good about this one. This is the best one on the board, I think.
Yeah, I don't feel good about mine.
There's no guarantee the Eagles are even going to get to this matchup.
Yeah,
but to me, the answer is Sean McVay.
Oh, that was mine. I didn't think you would go for that.
Yeah, that is the answer.
And it's not Matthew Stafford, it's Sean McVay.
Yes, because part of the reason that the Rams seem as scary as they do is that for the first time in his head coaching career, Sean McVay seems to have finally embraced being aggressive in game management, going for it on fourth down, all of those things where he has typically, under the Shanahan umbrella, turtled. And I think you could hope that which is within him comes back out in the biggest moments in the playoffs. And I also think there's a little bit of the Vic Fangio ghost involved here, and McVay has done better, no doubt. Like they have played very well offensively against Vic in the last two meetings. But maybe if we're talking just turns into a pumpkin, I think Sam Darnold is an unfair comparison for Sean McVay, but his worst self turtling back in a big moment, I think that is a good path for the Eagles to get to the Super Bowl.
I'm so annoyed you took that one because I didn't feel great about. I have three options and I was like, I don't know which one I would really want to go with here. McVay, you did a better job explaining it than I would have though. So credit to you.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna go with my which one is it? Oh, replace the backup.
Okay.
I'm going to replace Brett Toth with Tyler Steen.
Now I thought about this, and should this be allowed? Because now you're talking about cloning and how do we feel about that ethically? Either that or a time machine. I think it's a little bit dicey.
Feel about cloning ethically? It's just a draft. I mean, even if it wasn't Myler Mean, it's his brother. Mean. Yeah, Myler Mean.
Tyler Stone.
Skylar Stone, I think is what.
Skylar Stone. A player of equivalent skill to Tyler Steen.
You have a competent starting quality, waiting in the wings, interior offensive lineman.
That would make a big difference. That's a good one.
All right, you're up.
I was not going to draft Myler Moan.
Myler Moan, I don't like that one now. Skylar Stone, I think is the best one we can come up with.
Okay.
Filer Fiend.
Filer Fiend. Kyler.
Kyler Keene.
I don't like back-to-back Ks. It makes me anxious.
It's a lot on the line with that one.
Yeah, it makes you really worried about
the
Kubiak family.
Do you remember like the era when like KK was like something people would text you?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. I mean, dangerous.
Call.
Why even flirt? Why even put that in anybody's brain? Yeah.
KK.
Totally agree. And you really do have to go out of your way if your last name is Kubiak to and they're all K's. He's got like 3 sons who are K's or something like that.
K
it is.
too.
You know
Clint
what you're
with a
doing.
K. Yeah.
You are not even being that coy about it.
So do you think any of them have a K for a middle name?
I would be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised. The Kubiak's probably not.
Clint Alexander Kubiak.
But I think that's out there. People doing that.
Yeah. I mean, that's.
But I feel like once you
crazy.
don't need to do it, it's gilding the lily a little bit. Once you do the first, you've already gotten your message across.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
it's like, okay, we
there.
get it. Like,
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, like, I cannot imagine, is there a black person out there or a Jewish person or anybody whose last name starts with K who would even consider a first name that starts with K?
Consider with a K.
Of course not.
Lindsay's got something to say.
I was going to say cleaner kind of story off this. I told on the Phillies podcast was my daughter's initials are PEE.
Oh, that's fun.
That's fine.
Yeah. But like, I don't love it, but like,
Inches.
can't change the last name, and
Yeah.
I really wanted the middle name, so
I think that's fine.
What's
That's
the
fun.
middle name?
That's also it's
It's
a
my middle
fun
name.
one.
it's a family name.
Now, will you do? You think you're the backpack with the initials?
No, I'll just never do that. And
That
then
would be very funny.
and then so her just 2 initials are PE,
Yeah.
like phys ed,
Right.
like my
Oh,
husband. So
perfect.
Well, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
kind of
Yeah.
goes every which way.
Okay, that's pretty good.
I don't think that would dawn on me if I was like an 8-year-old mean-spirited kid.
P?
Yeah, like the full initials.
Mm.
Like I wouldn't go searching for them.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Only if you do the monogram and you see it on the
you see
backpack,
it.
then so we'll just
I'd
skip
lean into
that.
Yeah, I think that's fun.
Yeah, it's very fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn the shower heads gold.
Loopy Wednesday. Turn the shower heads gold.
All right. I've got 2024 version, playoff jump, and add a skill available.
Yeah, what do I have?
I feel like the world is my oyster with add a skill, so I'm gonna go with my 2024 version. And there are a lot of ways you could go with this one. I think in terms of what matters most for this Eagles team right now, I would take Landon Dickerson. And him last year and the combination with Jordan Mailata, like, road grading guys, they cannot effectively run block enough right now.
Yeah.
I feel like if you gave me last year's version of Landon Dickerson, this offense would look a lot better. And I know you could say, oh, give me Saquon Barkley from last year.
I don't
but
think
I
it
don't think that
matters.
last year's Saquon Barkley in this offense right now is going to make that much of a difference. Whereas this Saquon Barkley with better run blocking would give this team a better chance of being effective offensively. So, you could go Cam Jurgens here. You could go, I don't know, Jalen Hurts. You could go Nick Sirianni or something like that. But I feel like in terms of tangibly affecting the team, I'm going to go Landon Dickerson.
Yeah, Landon was my number 2. Excuse me. Sorry.
Friend, the best draft analyst in the business, says this is the right pick. So
Yeah, I guess like the ceiling of the Eagles defense is only affected so much.
yeah.
Like they're already playing so well. Landon was my number 2 option here.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I don't know exactly why it feels like if Landon were his 2024 self, it matters more than Cam.
Yeah.
But I agree. I feel the same way about it. So I think it's a good pick.
Make a case for Nolan Smith if you wanted on the defense.
I just go
But-
Jalen Carter if I was going defense.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
For you, yeah. But no, I think Landon. I like Jalen Carter because again, it's like, can the Eagles just allow 0 points? in the
Yeah. I mean,
entire
I
postseason?
think that was the right pick.
Yeah, but I like Landon there.
All right. You have,
Opponent pumpkin and injury guarantee.
yeah.
I'm gonna go injury guarantee because I feel a little bit better about it. I'm gonna go Quinyon Mitchell. because as dominant as we're talking about the Eagles defense being and as settled as Adoree Jackson seems right now, it could be. I mean, we've talked about Quinyon being the most valuable player on the Eagles defense because of the drop off behind him. Like all of a sudden, it's a lot harder to count on this Eagles defense to hold teams to single digit points, 13 points, whatever it may be, if you've got Keely Ringo and Adoree Jackson, or maybe it'd be Cooper DeJean on the outside with Michael Carter in the slot. Whatever it is, it's not as dominant as what they are now. And it's funny, like we talked about on the show before, but the nonchalance. Oh, and we'll talk about that nonchalance in
overtime.
I just like felt Lindsay staring daggers at me. You know, when you're not in the host chair, you're just sitting here hanging out, having a good time, talking about football. And all of a sudden, 3 o'clock pops up.
There you go. Okay.
But yeah, no, I was going to say, like, we heard from Quinyon yesterday at his locker, and he is just like the most nonchalant person I've ever been around.
That's crazy.
In like in an admirable way.
Yeah.
Like he does not, like he just, it really does seem like he's just like, yeah, this is, you know, honestly what it is. Okay. I got a good one for you here. Like Jalen, like wants us to think he's Quinyon.
Yeah.
Like he wants.
I think that's true.
Like Quinyon is the embodiment of like, I just lock down the number one receiver every week.
Yeah.
They don't throw the ball my way.
Yeah.
Ho hum.
I agree with
what
that.
I do.
I think that's a good take.
Like Jalen wants that. He wants us to think that he is the same. Like, yeah, it's no big deal. It's no big deal to me. So
That's a very good take.
yeah, like Quinyon's like it's funny because he's playing so well. He is so important to this team, and like we talked to him, and the interview lasts like 2 minutes. And it's because like you ask him a question, and he's not even. It's like he is genuinely just like, yeah, you know, I don't really think about that much. You know. He just very singularly focused young man.
All right. Next up for me, I will go to add a skill. A lot of ways to go here. Thought about Jalen Hurts trusting it over the middle. You know, willingness to throw into tight windows over the middle. Sure, I can.
I already have Jalen Hurts.
It's a different skill. You know, you could do.
No, but that's cheating. It's just against the spirit of the game.
You could add. You took Quinyon. I could add Quinyon stealing Asante Samuel's ball hawkingness, right, or the ability to catch. Might be nice.
That would be an Eagles offense doesn't score a point, but the Eagles win a playoff game.
Right
at that point, like if Quinyon starts scoring.
Yeah. But again, trying to think of this realistically. Within what would tangibly affect the Eagles down the stretch, I am turning Grant Calcaterra into the Incredible Hulk. If I could add a skill and Grant Calcaterra becomes the best blocking tight end in football,
that's a good one. Again,
I feel like that helps change the shape of the Eagles offense.
No, I really like that one. I mean, you could just also just put Cam Latu on the field. You know, I have something to say about Cam Latu, actually.
Of course you do. It's another episode of the show.
I have heard a lot of very like intelligent football film watchers talk about Cam Latu in the last week. We got Brian Baldinger breaking down Cam Latu's tape. We got Sean Syed, our good friend, talking about Cam Latu, the running start motion where he can blow up the opposite end edge rusher on the other side of the formation. I think you guys are letting your like competitive spirit, you know, like the fact that I was on Cam Latu's.
What are you talking about? Fran texted you this week and said Cam Latu had a very good block.
Yeah, but it's begrudging. It's like,
no, it's not. He's following the tape. He's trusting his eyes.
You guys, I think you're letting my passion for the Cam Latu inclusion and the role growing, you're letting it cloud your judgment. Because you guys are the smartest football guys I'm around. And you guys are wrong on Cam Latu. You're late to the party. You're late to the party. You're late to the party, and it's a person. You're letting your personal affront of me, you know, the competitive juices on the show cloud your judgment. I mean, I gotta hear about it from. I gotta hear about it from Sean Syed. I gotta hear about it from him. We got our own Tactico. We got Fran.
He's giving him credit when he deserves it. Fran says you're cherry picking analysts.
I mean, these people are part of the ecosystem.
All right, your last pick.
Turn into a pumpkin?
Yeah.
I'll make a pick, but then can we talk about two?
Sure.
I don't know if the Eagles are going to play this team. Probably not.
Okay.
I'm taking Jahmyr Gibbs.
Really?
If the Eagles play the Lions, I feel like the Lions would feel pretty good about coming back to the link. I think
so,
they look
too.
at that game and they go, the fourth down variance, the fact that, the defense played so well against the Eagles offense. You feel okay about playing that playoff game.
It's hard for within the construct of the idea of this. It's hard for like a running back to turn it, like just starts fumbling for Jahmyr Gibbs. Like what would be him turning into
fumbling? Just stops being one of the most freakish athletes I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
I mean
that's yeah.
He was insane in that game. And if you told me that he could just be slightly worse than he was, maybe it is like starts fumbling, stops like trusting the blocks, stops like finding open space and like turning it on another gear. Just gets into a slump. I'd feel better about the Eagles in that matchup.
You're gonna waste your pick on a team that
isn't even in the playoffs right now.
30% to make the playoffs.
I mean, the Bears have a really tough stretch coming up. I don't feel great about it. Sam Darnold was my other choice.
Yeah, reasonable.
I just feel like that Seahawks game. I heard Fran on Anthony's show this morning talking about the Seahawks, and he's changing my mind a little bit on this. But just like my 1,000-foot view looking at the Seahawks, if the Eagles and the Seahawks play in the playoffs, I think it's going to be like 13-9, and it's just a matter of who scores 13. Now, maybe the Seahawks can go a little bit more than that.
Now, it depends on what happens Thursday night between the Rams and the Seahawks. But most likely, whoever loses that game and doesn't win that division, the Eagles wouldn't play that team until the NFC Championship either.
Yeah, no,
the Eagles are likely to be the 3.
You took the Rams guy from me.
Probably going to play the Niners. And if they win that, then they're probably playing the Packers or the Bears.
Yeah, I think it's more about the teams I feared. The teams that, if the Eagles got matched up against them, I'd be like, I don't feel great about that matchup for them. And you took McVay. I would have gone McVay. I don't think Stafford is quite I don't know. I guess Stafford turning into a pumpkin would be about the same thing. I don't know. For me, it's I wouldn't feel great about that Lions matchup for them. I know it would take a lot for it to happen, but it'd be the one that would worry me. Maybe Todd Bowles is a sneaky one in here too.
That's a good one.
I don't know. Like I said, McVay was the one I felt good about. The rest of them, I kind of could have gone a lot of ways.
All right, I will close things out with my playoff jump guy. And you want to talk about feeling good about a pick.
Oh, man.
This is a good one. And I'm trying to be realistic here. I'm not going to take the quarterback of the team. Realistically, who is a player who can take a jump that would matter?
The chat's really upset with me. They felt like I had you right where I wanted you, and I gave it away.
Yeah, you blew it. Yeah. You did. You lost the game.
His downfall was his hubris.
There are a lot, the players on defense don't necessarily need the jump there. I think you could argue for Dory Jackson. Maybe he gets a couple picks. That's the Milton Williams for him. Everybody else at all the other levels, you can maybe Marcus Epps if you wanted to make a case for. Offensively, AJ, but okay, he's already AJ Brown.
AJ was on a couple of mine.
To me, the answer here is how do you change the dynamism of the Eagles offense in the playoffs? You know what you do? You add a third receiver who Jalen trusts, who all of a sudden has a breakout. That's right. The playoff jump is Darius Cooper. Watch him take over the NFL. AJ's got the coverage. Devontae's running free over the middle of the field. There goes Darius Cooper with 300-yard games in the playoffs. And all of a sudden, the Eagles offense is cooking.
I feel like you did make a really good late comeback in this game. I still think I won.
At least you're being honest.
I still think I won.
Trust the tape, and you acknowledge that I won.
I literally did not acknowledge that you won.
No, you did. You did without.
I feel like I had you in a landslide, and you just made it a photo finish.
I won the game.
We need a poll, Lindsay. We need to know what the chat thinks about who won the draft. I feel like those two picks were good. I thought you were going to go Jahan Dotson, but I guess that's not on brand for you.
We already know. We've already had 2 years of Jahan Dotson. We know that Jalen's not going to trust him. But now that Darius Cooper's involved.
Yeah. Oh, they said that you blew it. Somebody said you blew it.
Yeah, they're wrong.
Darius Cooper's a good pick.
I won the game. It's also adding tangible productivity. That if Darius Cooper actually takes a jump, that means that the offense is being productive in the passing game.
He's feisty in the run game, too. I like Darius Cooper.
Thank you.
You planted your you planted your flag on Darius Cooper. Is that a weird thing to say?
It's fine.
You planted your flag on Darius Cooper.
It would be weird if
Island.
you said in him.
Yes, that would have been weird. You planted your flag on Darius Cooper Island. At the same time, our friend Jimmy Kempski planted his flag on Smile London Island, and that really does contextualize like how big a leap it is to be the like most bullish on a player in training camp. So I tip my cap to you.
All right, let's get to the super chats before we get going out of here, and then hear from Cooper DeJean. We've got Tim who says, "Bo, was that a Howard Dean arm swing?" Yeah. Yes, it was. Next up, we have Fresh Prince. I think the narrative after the game is a little unfair. Going into last game, we knew the Raiders' offense was terrible. Their defense was a little below average. Coming out of the game, the narrative is the Raiders suck. What do you think?
I actually don't think that's been the narrative out of the game. I think that we've qualified a lot of what we've talked about with the level of competition. But I actually think when we going into the game, I think we mostly agreed like there wasn't much that we could learn about this team in the matchup, but it was such a dominant performance that I think we've made an exception.
Yeah, I also do think that the Raiders defense's numbers on the season probably don't accurately portray the way that they're playing right now.
Yeah.
And the offense, which was already really bad, was playing with a backup quarterback. So it is about the worst team that you could play.
Going into the game, I think there was like the thought like maybe Kenny Pickett gives them some life, injects some life into the offense.
From who? The Pickett family?
No. I'm going to keep killing this guy now, but Jimmy Kempski.
Okay. I mean, I love Jimmy.
I love Jimmy too. Now I feel like I'm piling on. I made fun of Jimmy's jacket last week too. Did I tell you about this?
You're crushing it. No. Oh, you did tell me about
this.
Yeah.
He had like the North Face.
The North Face, yeah. You asked Lindsay about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't saying that his jacket was like, there's anything wrong with him wearing it.
Yeah.
Just nostalgic,
Real Prince Blue. Draft offensive lineman Will Clapp.
Full sentence is a full name all-star.
As I like to say, he is Jeb Bush's favorite player.
Did you hear that? Sentence is a full name all-star. That's like a massive brain fart by me.
That's okay.
Name is a full sentence all-star.
Full sentence all-star is all we call it.
I'm still new here.
Okay. Finally, CDP. For Josh Harris week, who is the worst person to allegedly invite you to a meeting? Hey, Jeffrey. Got any of those underage girls for me?
I got nothing. The worst person to allegedly invite me to a meeting?
I mean, I can certainly think of some colleagues and bosses who I haven't liked.
Yeah.
Anybody off the top of my head?
I love everybody I've worked with.
Everybody?
Everybody.
You love them?
Yep. Love them.
I know that's not true.
I got nothing to say about this one.
Yeah, I can't think of a good answer. I gave you the Josh Harris. I feel like that's good enough.
I got to tell you my thing.
Yeah.
The word that you've read a million times, but maybe haven't said very often, so you don't pronounce it properly. You don't know where I'm going with this, do you?
No, go ahead.
Say the name of the Eagles starting quarterback.
Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts, right?
Yeah, what?
You say it correctly. There's a subtle distinction, and I've heard so many people say his name that I can pick it out. Okay. And I'm sure he can too. People who have read the word Jalen but haven't said it very much, they say Jalen. Jalen. Because that's kind of how it's spelled.
That's just the way people say it.
It's not how Jalen says it.
Right.
It's not how Jalen's family would say it. It's not how Jalen's friends would say it.
Right.
I think it's, if you've read it a lot, you say Jalen. Because that is, like, if you just read the word, it's like that would make sense. But this is your PSA. It's Jalen.
Jalen. Yeah.
It's like Aaron.
Right. This is one where
Or Cara.
I'd love to throw other people under the bus. I'm with you. That sounds fun. I don't know if this is more of like a regionalism.
I think there's a divide from how some people say it.
You think this is like a Wonder Bread kind of deal?
A Wonder Bread kind of deal. I'm not familiar with
Yeah,
this.
like too white, like.
Oh, and I was just gonna say there's maybe two Americas.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even know if that's it though, because you say it right. Like I think most people say.
Well, that's
Jalen.
what I'm saying. You know.
I don't know. I just think it's a newer name, and I think people are still learning how to pronounce it.
I mean, there have been like 15 Jalens on the Eagles over the past 3 years.
Yeah, but
past decade.
I think Jalen is a popular way to pronounce the name. But like, because like I feel like Jalen Rose came to prominence, and maybe like you just like read it and thought that's how you say it. It's a subtle thing too. It's like I've picked up.
You've heard it.
I've picked up on it so much that it's like I wouldn't say it's a pet peeve, but it's something I am very much aware of.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to be on the other side.
On the right side?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with mispronouncing it that way, for the record.
I don't think you're saying there is.
No, no. It's that there's nothing wrong with it. It's just like it tells me that you don't know someone named Jalen. Then there's nothing wrong with that.
Well,
What if that person says it the other way, though?
What do you mean?
I don't even know how you're saying it
Jalen
differently.
says it the other way.
If there's a Jalen that says my name's Jalen,
I guess.
I mean, maybe they're out there. I don't know any of them. That's what I'd say.
I feel like you don't need to speak quite so much in code on this issue.
I said what I said. Fran said, I wonder if EJ has heard people in Delco say the words towel and crayon. How do you say it? Crayon?
Crayon.
I say crown.
Yeah, I mean, I did.
But like, there's a difference between saying towel and crown, but like it's his name, you know?
Yeah.
How do you say like where you put like your socks? Like you open the
Drawer.
Some people say draw.
Yeah.
I don't like that. You're just deleting the last two.
There's
letters.
there's an interesting Philadelphianism or whatever it is where people pronounce my last name Wolf.
Oh, I could see that. Yeah, I think BG kind of says it, doesn't he?
No, he doesn't. I think he does it fine.
I think I might say your. No, I'm a real stickler about trying to pronounce people's names right, as you can tell. Bo Wulf.
Yeah, it's pronounced like the animal.
I could hear like a Mount Airy accent, like Bo Wulf.
It's Woof. I hear Woof.
Yeah, Bo Wulf.
How about when people say library? They just get rid of
awful.
the R.
Awful.
I don't think I have any like things I just.
Oh, there are a lot of them. What about what's the classic one? This is gonna drive me nuts. I can't think of it.
I say the word ask kind of funny. I have to like really try.
Like,
Let us know in the
thinking of
chat what are words
something
that bother you.
People say two different ways, like
Yeah.
syrup.
I'm okay with that.
I'm a
no, I'm
syrup
thinking
guy.
there are ones where people just say it the wrong way. It's not even like a
Crick.
no, that's fine.
Crick is an Arstown thing. I think it's
There's
more than
one word where it's like people just oh man.
Fran, you are correct. I'm not going to read it out, but he's right. Don't read it. No, don't read it. For those, some
What's
people,
the word?
Some people are saying they can't hear the difference. Jalen or Jalen. One like you kind of add like a Y, like Jalen or Jalen. Like it's the first syllable. Jalen or Jalen. That's the difference. And it's Jalen for the record. You're gonna look. Who are you texting? You're phoning a friend?
Rachel.
I texted Julia to ask for our wedding photos, and I received them because I wanted to show Lindsay that I did in fact cry at my wedding.
Yeah, these two here are criers at weddings, not just their own, other people's.
Yeah,
Lindsay, I know you're new here. No one who watches this show is surprised at that at
I'm
all.
surprised that you cry, Bo.
Really? Wait, what is that? What about me? Why aren't you surprised? I just seem like the type.
I'm just not like, oh, that's out of the realm. But Bo's so like
macho. It's okay. You can say it.
Bo, you're
I'm a
not
man's
macho.
man, yeah.
Oh, you should have met ZB. He was
No,
way
just
more
like
macho than Bo.
sarcastic and like
Cynical. Cynical is the
Cynical,
word. Yeah.
It's affected. No,
Bo is like above so many things.
I'm above things that don't matter.
Jaded.
But the things that are real and true and matter in life, of course, that's what life's all about. Deeply affecting. It's a real slap across the face if I do not cry at your wedding.
You think ZB cries at weddings? The guy who interviewed with David Baker.
Did you cry when your kids were born?
No.
Really?
No, that's a different feeling. That's a more of a magnitude. Although that's not true. I definitely cried when Lee was born.
Oh, shots.
Just the last one?
Yeah.
The first two, you were like, meh.
Yeah.
No. The first one in particular was, first of all, a little bit more harrowing, and the first one is more of like, to me, was like the magnitude of the moment. Second one, harder to remember, middle of COVID. But that one also, I think I definitely cried then too, because with Jane, I cried when Rachel just announced what her name was, because we didn't know it was a boy or a girl. And so they said we found out it was a girl, and she said, "This is Jane," and that made me cry.
I did.
I don't know. I could also just be misremembering and did cry when Casey was born. So who knows?
Didn't cry for either of mine, and I did all the work.
Let's say, well, you had a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like that's
You're the
like
one
usually
working.
because like there's so much like adrenaline. You might like cry.
Yeah, I mean, I'll cry at a lot of things.
I cry at a moderate amount of things, but weddings will get me.
There's also, there's a difference between just, some tears.
Yeah, I'm not
versus,
like boo-hooing at a wedding. It's just a couple tears.
Rachel must be working.
Wow. You just threw her under the bus.
She has an actual job, unlike us.
I was about to say, what is that supposed to be? Last thing.
Okay.
The group of pediatric nurses, it was a big hit. We talked about them in the post-game show.
Okay.
I did say, like, I think they're all women. There are at least two men that are a part of that group. Shout out to Mike and Lamar, because I love both of those guys. And Mike is a big listener for the show.
Throwing Lamar under the bus.
What do you mean? Mike is a big listener to the show, so it was like especially mean that I didn't think about it.
Come on. Big Mike.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mike.
Shout out to Mike.
Thanks for doing hard work. And thanks to everybody for voting and correctly acknowledging that I won this draft.
Wait,
going
I
away.
can't see the results.
That'll do it for this episode.
No,
of
hang on. I think it says I won an. It's a landslide, isn't it?
At Thursday, tomorrow at 2:00, the Duff Man will be here for Swooper. For Lindsay, thank you very much for putting together this wonderful draft.
65-35.
They're morons.
How dare you talk about the listeners to the show, listeners of the show, like that?
Well, 35% of them have their heads screwed on. The rest of them are dumb.
I won. Landslide, 65-35.
We can agree that in this America,
trying to lie to the people because I can't
probably
see the
better to be on the other
because of
side.
The camera in the way. How dare you? How dare you?
Before we leave, I lied. That's not the end of the show. We're going to play Cooper DeJean's interview with EJ Smith. Interesting. Cooper really turned it on you. He was the one who was interviewing you, it felt like.
Are you being serious?
I don't know. I haven't watched it yet.
Okay. I was like, I don't know if that's the case.
And then that will send us to the end of the episode. So enjoy that. Cooper DeJean, thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Enjoy the holiday party tonight, everybody.
Welcome back to the PHLY Eagle Show and presented by Bucci Jewelers. We are joined by Cooper DeJean. Coop, how you doing?
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Now, I was going to ask you the last shutout that you were a part of, but I just did my own research here. So I know that this isn't your first shutout of your career, at least since high school. Do you remember some of the other shutouts you were in, you were part of in college?
Oh, man.
I'll give you some hints. 3 of them, 2 in bowl games, 1 from the same state that the Raiders hail from.
3 of them are from bowl games.
2 from bowl games. Yeah.
2 from bowl games.
Your last game against Rutgers?
My last game against Rutgers?
Yeah, your last game at college against Rutgers.
Oh, shit. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. And then 2022 in the Music City Bowl,
Yep, you had a pick in that game against
21-0.
Kentucky. Yeah. And then against Nevada earlier that year.
Nevada.
You also
Damn.
had a pick in that game. So,
I
but
did
you
have
know,
a pick
it's
in
a
that
little
game.
it's a little more rare to do it
It
in
is rare.
in the NFL, I would say.
Fun fact, that
Yeah.
Nevada game finished at 2 in the morning.
Ooh.
There was 3 rain delays.
Oh, well, that'll happen,
Lightning
right?
delay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this was like
Crazy.
the quickest game by
Yeah, I
comparison.
know.
Where does the Raiders game rank for you in terms of your favorite defensive performances since you got in the league?
Oh, I mean, the Super Bowl is probably number 1. But that's right up there. It's gotta be right up there. I mean, I don't know if I've ever been a part of a defense to hold a offense under 100 yards.
Yeah,
I don't know
75
if
yard. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's pretty crazy, no matter if the team's 2-11 or what. It's still crazy to hold a NFL football team to 75 yards. So it's right up there for sure, in my games I've played thus far.
So, I wanted to know what your reaction to BG's multi-sack game was, but first I have to ask you this. Did you get the unnecessary roughness call just to preserve his sack there? Because
Yeah.
he doesn't get the sack unless you get the dead ball penalty, and they decline the defensive holding on you there.
Yeah, I knew I had they threw a flag on me for, the holding on the route, and I saw BG got the sack, so I just gave him a light little shove after to
Yeah, 200
say
IQ right
the
here,
sack.
right?
Yeah, come on.
Now, does he thank you? Does he thank you for that as your PHLY brethren here and also Eagles teammate? Does he say something to you like, "Hey, thanks. I saw you looking out for me there."
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him about it today, and maybe I'll get a little thank you for that.
Yeah, I mean, you were a part of history there, you know?
Yes. Well, that was the second sack or first one?
That was the first sack, but still, it
First
made
one.
him
Yeah,
the oldest player in Eagles history to get a sack.
that's
I wanted to
crazy.
ask you also, did you notice a Raiders coach like freaking out on the sideline before they threw the flag on that play? Our co-host Fran Duffy pointed out that it seemed like the Raiders coaches were really watching for that defensive holding penalty there.
Really? I did not see
Yeah.
that, no. I mean, they were looking for there was a couple other plays where I saw on film that they were looking for penalties too, but it's whatever.
I wanted to ask you about the secondary. We've been following Adoree Jackson closely all season. Obviously, you guys have had to work in Marcus Epps over the last couple of weeks, but it seems like that group has really settled in. At the latter half of the season now. What stands out about the process of kind of working these new guys into the fold and the level that you guys are playing at now together?
Yeah, it's been awesome to see Adoree's just progress over the year, obviously. From the first game till now, just seems like he's continued to get better and, continue to play with more and more confidence, trusting himself out there. Trusting our defense and our scheme. And then you add a guy like Epps in too, veteran who's been around, understands the game really well. Those 2 guys, and then along with us guys that have been back there, they've been great additions to our defense. And especially Epps, it's hard to, just get thrown in there mid-season, and expect to, play at a high level, and he's done that. He's helped us, play at that high level. Just a great nose for the game. He understands the game really well, and yeah, I'm just happy to have those guys back there and playing the way that they are.
With Adoree, he seems like a real character whenever we're in the locker room. He seems like he's got a pretty unique and interesting personality. I guess, how would you describe how he is day in and day out to people who don't know him very well?
Yeah, very funny guy. Very funny. Very laid back. He doesn't let too many things bother him. So he's just a good guy to be around. Obviously he's been around the league for 10 years, I think now. So, but he's just a great guy to be around. Great veteran to have in our locker room. Keeps things light. Kind of similar to how Slay was last year. They
Yeah.
both like to, keep things light, which is really cool, I think.
Yeah, he does kind of have some of those like Slay like quirks.
Yeah.
From my experience of Adoree is like he'll be like screaming in the locker room as he's walking around. Like he'll be like saying like something like, I couldn't
Yeah.
complain. I woke up this morning or something like that. So seems like he's got good perspective
Yeah.
on life.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to ask you, who do you think Vic Fangio's favorite player is? I know you guys, you've had a good stretch here. He's probably a little bit more positive in the film reviews, probably talking up a couple of guys. You can't say yourself. Well, actually, you know what? You could say yourself if you think it's you.
Nah.
Who do you think is the one player that he kind of has a soft spot for?
The one player he has a soft spot for, BG for sure. I mean, I feel like that's an easy pick, but besides BG, I'm gonna go with. Oh, this is tough. I'll say Zach Bond.
Okay, I
Zach
could
Bond
see that.
or Jordan Davis. One of
Yeah,
those
I
two.
was wondering if Jordan Davis is like a sleeper
Yeah.
here, like a guy who because you and I have talked before, like Jordan Davis is so important to like
Yeah.
how you guys operate defensively, like the scheme, the light boxes and everything like that. But I
Yeah.
could also see Zach Bond being like one that can do no wrong in Vic Fangio's eyes.
Yeah.
Like, just fundamentally sound linebacker. He's everywhere. How rare is it that Vic Fangio is going to be like digging out Zach Bond in a film session?
Yeah, it's pretty rare. It's pretty
Yeah.
rare. I think. Also, I feel like they understand each other pretty well, and he knows the type of player that Zach is. So even when he does, if he does mess up, do something wrong within the scheme, I feel like Vic knows that Zach knows what he did wrong. So there's not much really to say to him.
Now, how much does he dig you out in a film review by comparison? Do you feel like you're on the list of favorites here?
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
He doesn't he just always gives me like just constant reminders throughout a film session. Whether it's holding the edge, something within our coverage, whatever it may be. He just always usually gives me, just constant reminders, which I appreciate.
Gotcha. Last one for you. So what kind of holiday shopper are you? Are you the type of guy that's got it all ordered and, it's all at your house now? Or are you last minute? You're the person that's checking, like, is this going to be here in time? Might have to figure out something else. Might need to make a last minute run to the mall. What category would you say you fall in here?
Yeah, I'm a last minute guy for sure.
Same.
I don't have I got some of my gifts planned out, but I don't have them, I don't have them yet. So
it's more of like a concept of a gift at this point, it's like
it's 9 days away, so I probably should get rolling here.
Makes two of us.
On Christmas, but sorry, it'll work itself out.
Yeah. Well, I think we both need to get on the interwebs here and get this this shopping done.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Anyway, awesome. Well, I appreciate your time, Coop. I'm excited to listen to this episode of Exciting Mics. Thanks again to Bucci Jewelers, and back to you guys on the PHLY Eagle Show.
Appreciate it.
I mean,
I didn't know.
Vic Fangio digging him out?
I didn't know that it had like a connotation to it. I'm usually good with that. I'm usually good with knowing the inappropriate slang terms that kids are up on.
And then to follow it up. How often is he digging you out?
I thought it was a good interview. I didn't think about it at all. I didn't know that was
a good question.
I didn't know it was a lewd.
Until you got there.
Didn't know it was a lewd reference.
Good for Vic. All right. You ready for the word?
This show is just never going to end. We're going to be here until like 5 o'clock.
Digging them out. All right. You ready for the word?
Yeah.
Rachel. It's a good one. Especially.
Oh. Yeah. Hate that. Hate that word.
And you hear it all the time.
Really? Especially.
All the time. Especially. No. That's not a regionalism. That's you just being ignorant. Especially.
Especially.
No.
No, I know what the word
Oh.
actually is. I'm just
Yes.
laughing at the idea. I mean, yeah, I've seen some of the comments in the chat.
Yes. Yeah, they're bold
guess
as
I'm
Mr. Powerbottom to say that he usually knows the slang.
I guess I don't know the slang. Oh man,
Especially.
especially. Does axe bother you? Like, I'm gonna ask you a question.
Yeah, that does bother me.
Okay, I've had to work hard to get rid of it.
Yeah.
I was probably ask you a question until I was like 14.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, but like, when I was a teenager, I had to figure out how to not say. I still don't say the ask. I still don't like saying it that way.
Mm.
I don't know.
Good for you for doing some self-improvement.
Yeah, I really lost my Philly accent in college.
Mm.
I've talked about it before. Like, I used to say wooder, but I don't say wooder anymore. My whole family does. I don't. So thanks a lot, Temple.
All right. That'll do it for this episode of the PHLY Eagles podcast. Thanks again. We will talk to you tomorrow, 2 o'clock. Good luck to everybody digging one out tonight.
I don't think digging one out's the same thing.
Digging out, it's different.
Digging out, yeah. Good thing it's overtime.
Good thing. We'll talk to you tomorrow, 2 o'clock. And as always, we love you.
We all silly like the mayor.